Hi there. My name is Mike Witkowicz. I'm the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development with the Ag Exchange Group. And I'm here today to talk on data use and protection, as well as online grain marketing. I'd like to start though by thanking AgSmart for providing this forum for us to still continue to virtually deliver content, as well as help bring educational sessions in the light of the COVID-19 pandemic. While most trade shows and learning opportunities have been canceled for the right reasons, for safety reasons, um, it's always good to try new and innovative ways to deliver content and learn. I know that myself over this time, I've taken part in some various webinars and recorded delivery options, and I found them quite beneficial. So I'm hoping to pass that along to you through this session. So thanks, AgSmart, for bringing this together. And we're going to roll on into our presentation. So I'd like to start by first recognizing our session sponsor, and that is CXN360. Now, CXN360 is a solution designed to bring more opportunities to you, the farmer. CXN360 stands for Commodity Exchange Network, and the 360 stands for that it's always on, always active, and always keeps you in the market. So what is it? Well, it's an online marketplace that connects buyers and growers. Really, I like to joke, think of it as a match.com for grain. It's like an introduction service. Why do we use that analogy? Well, because it uses a membership model. So when you use a membership model, there's many benefits you can have. The first is it's transparent. You know who you are dealing with at all times. And all the offers you receive are real offers with terms, conditions, delivery, all of that from grain buyers. Now, it also gives you freedom. And what we mean by freedom, we kind of freedom from the phone in a way, instead of having to call and reach and dial and voicemail and connect. The offers are delivered to you on your phone, tablet, laptop, in any way that you want. We use a progressive web app, so it's mobile friendly. There's an app on your phone that you can download to receive the notifications of the offers. You can receive them within, you can receive text notifications, you can receive email notifications. It's fully customizable to you, to what helps you for running your business best. The next is it gives you great choice. It supplements how you sell your grain, brings you access to more buyers more efficiently. The last is it gives you control. You choose who you deal with, as well as one huge benefit for growers. It allows you to make targets on your terms with multiple buyers with no risk of over-contracting. All of this is all done with no per transaction fee, no per metric ton fee, no commissions. Like I started, we use a membership model, so there's an annual membership fee for a fully unlocked, unlimited subscription. And that is what really brings the power to you on your farm. Now, this isn't just an idea. We actually have over 11.2 million acres of Western Canadian farm members. And since the inception, we consider the kickoff point was AgriTrade in November of 2017. We've seen over 3 million metric tons offered from grain buyers alone. Last year, 1.1 million metric tons were offered. And in this calendar year, so since January 1 to the point of the day when I'm recording this in early July, we've seen over 700,000 tons offered to growers. So all those members, those members that represent 11.2 million acres are seeing huge opportunities. Now, we have over 30% of the Western Canadian grain buyers on, and so really we're connecting more buyers to you and you to more buyers. Now, what about payment? Well, all our buyers are either CGC licensed or they've demonstrated to us that they have some form of insurance or their ability to pay. So what have these grower members seen? Well, they've seen a lot of offers, but they see more offers from more buyers on more commodities. Now, what I like to use is the hidden opportunities are now exposed. So now, because you make yourself available, you're getting these opportunities that you may have perceived as hidden before, but now they're coming to you. And it's not just, as I like to say, the elite few that are getting all the good opportunities. You also get price discovery and transparency. So maybe you get an offer and you're coming to a verbal agreement with someone who isn't a buyer on the system. You know what others are offering for prices on commodities, and it can give you assurance that, yeah, you're getting a good price from the guy you're doing a deal with. Or perhaps maybe you need to relook at all those terms. Now, the one thing that we have been able to prove through a data analysis is that on average, the targeted offers in CXN 360 are over $10 a metric ton better than a posted price. Now, how did we do this? Well, starting back in October of 2018, we started every month comparing offer by offer, the commodity and delivery window, to the data that is in the Alberta Wheat Commission PDQ website. Now, PDQ stands for Price Discovery in quotes, but Alberta Wheat Commission aggregates and anonymizes data from grain companies on what their bids are. They put them into the different PDQ zones, and so we match our data up to those data zones and then make it as like comparable. Okay, so it's on delivery window and on commodity. And over that time, we are seeing that these targeted offers in CXN 360 are averaging over $10 a metric ton better. Now it's an average. So sometimes it's less. There's a lot of times it's more than $10 a ton. So the feeling that you can get, though, is know that you're getting a fair price when offered through the service. So if I've got your interest piqued and you're saying, well, how do I participate? It's very simple. Go to cxn360.com, click the sign up now, use a coupon code AGSMART2020B, again, AGSMART2020B, and with that coupon code, you will get a 90-day trial of an Offers and Targets membership. So you can do unlimited actions within those 90 days. And then at the end of it, you can decide to subscribe or move down to our base level. On our presentation. So the first topic I wanted to talk to you about was protecting you and your data, as well as understanding its use. Now, data can be a huge topic. It can be boring. I hope this isn't going to be, boring. I'm trying to bring some common and practical usage to the data and help you really understand where and what you want to do. So let's start with data use in ag technology. Compared to other industries, agriculture is unique. It is very high tech. Think of everything that's going on with the combines, with the seeders, with the auto steer, with weather stations. A lot of technology, but it's still high touch. If we compare to other industries, when things moved to high tech, it went to lower touch. Now, with all this technology though, what it's gathering on data, it has eclipsed what we can consume and utilize effectively and efficiently. So the data that you have, though, can be used effectively and efficiently to farm thousands of acres. Now, how could you use it for those different decision points? Let's just pose this question. Should you produce more efficiently using the data that you've been building or acquire more land? Could be a big call. So acquire more land or use the data. Let's just look at how we could do this. Let's just say we've got a 1,000-acre block of land, and on average, we produce 1 metric ton per acre. We're looking to acquire another 100 acres. So that's going to return us another extra 100 metric ton. Well, if we weren't to acquire the extra 100 acres, we'd have to produce another tenth of a ton an acre on our 1,000 acres. So we'd have to up our averages. And so if it was canola, that'd be 4.4 bushels, or wheat, 3.67 bushels an acre. So are you able to mine your data, and what could you tweak from that to make another 4.4 or another 3.6? No, that's on a 1,000-acre block. Let's look to an average farm. On an average 5,000 acre farm, again, assume a metric ton an acre produced, but this time you want to pick up a half section. Really? How are you going to get, the question is, how are you going to get an extra 320 ton out of your current 5,000 acres? Well, how much more? So really it ups it by 6.4%, 320 of the 5,000. But really now you're going to grow an extra 2.8 of canola bushels an acre or 2.3 for wheat. So again, the question is, what can you tweak from mining your data? Are there things you can tweak within your data that can get this without having to pick up the extra land? That's how you can really look at how should I be using my data. Now, there's lots of talk and lots of things going on, and everybody's talking traceability. And you know what? Traceability is it's there. It's the long play with data. And exporting data for traceability and assurance to consumers will be an evolution and an outcome. It will be a while, though, to get it in an effective and efficient way. And what it looks like between now and then is still unknown. There's lots of ideas and lots of companies working on it. However, data use needs to start with you and your farm first and foremost. Only you can determine how you will use the data for your benefit. Some of that looks like who you share it with, and then if you're going to share it, what benefit do you get from sharing it? So currently, on your farm, you produce an immense amount of data that hasn't been used. It's all linked. So which part do you want to work with or work on or work at? That can be very confusing. So I'd really say consultants can help sort that out and make a plan. Now, I want to go into data sharing a little differently. I want you to rethink this. Okay. Historically, you have shared all of your data openly since the beginning of production agriculture. Honestly, you've answered questions from agronomists, grain buyers, bankers, equipment people, ag marketing companies, and they'll get in through conversations. What are your wheat acres, your canola acres, your yield? How many metric tons? What's in storage? Do you have new bins? How full are the bins? Then send us your samples. Get us your samples. Get us your samples. Every time you do that, you've been sharing data. Not only on top of that, but think of all these surveys, phone, online, focus groups. All of that time, you have been openly sharing your data. Now, when we get into today's world, and with all the little digital devices we have, there's two kinds of data sharing. Covert data sharing. So that's that. And let's think beyond just an ag app. Unless you deliberately turn tracking off, in other words, the cookies, in your browser settings or your app settings, you're generating data. A big monster consumer of it, do you use Google Maps? If you've been data sharing, you've been data sharing there. Now, because we're talking, from the context of Ols, if you're in southern Alberta or northern Alberta and you go roaring into Calgary or you're going into Edmonton and you have your Google Maps on and it's telling you there's an accident ahead or traffic slows, how are they getting that? It's all from the covert data sharing. They're tracking where that device is, and they know that if they have a bunch of devices that slowed down, traffic is slowed down. Think of other things, apps, Kijiji, AutoTrader. Have you used Airbnb or Amazon? And then even those, they share across devices. So all the apps you have within that. Now, there's a benefit that we could really say, and I always joke it's borderline creepy as a consumer, but great to get a message out as a company. You go and Google something, and I know we've done this many times. You'll go and Google, you'll look up something for your, I don't know, something for your farm. You want to look for a new truck. All of a sudden, you're in your social media, and now there's truck ads popping in there, or anything else like that. Those are used to target you as a consumer and drop the ads in and make it think that way. That's covert data sharing. follows it by tracking you. Now there's overt data sharing. This is who you choose who you share with. Now, normally with this, you get a huge legal pop-up, one of those annoying ones where you got to scroll to the bottom in order to hit the I agree or I accept. Once you click I agree and I accept, that's where things go good, or if you're concerned about what you've shared, could go somewhat bad. But it's very easy in today's world and will get easier and easier for companies to collaborate to move data back and forth. So that would be one thing for you to consider is how easy does data move back and forth? And so that's going to mean you walk, don't run. Be cautious with it. What benefit are you going to receive? And is it a benefit you're looking for? That's what you need to look at. What do you gain back for what you share? Are you sharing all this data and get a wee little bit back? Are you going to use what you get back? What are you giving up? Did you make yourself identifiable? That's always a risk in privacy and protection. Once you agree, that data is gone and it cannot be undone. So once you shared it, it's like dumping a cup of water into a pool. You can dump your water in, but you cannot get your cup back. So you can't be undoing that. Shared data can be stopped. You can stop dumping more water in the pool, but you're never going to get your exact information back. Just keep that in mind. So that's why I say walk, don't run, just be cautious. Now, there's other overt data sharing. There's crowdsourced data. That can have benefits, and there's various ways on crowdsourcing data. But what are you giving up and what are you getting? If you're giving up information that is specific to you, what are you going to get back that benefits you? Or are you going to get some high level information that's for something in North America, South America, Europe, that's really not going to give you any benefit back? Now, companies that do crowdsource data, they'll build their brands. There will be innovation ideas, but really, I'd say in ag, the ones that benefit are smallholder farms. So think of things not really in our Western Canadian context. Think of it as in India, where you've got many 1 to 2 acre smallholder farms that they won't generate enough data off their acre or two that collectively, by sharing their data as a crowd, they'll get better information. Bottom line, understand data policies, understand companies that are depending on the data that you are sharing. Get to know them before you share. Last, this is emerging in North America. Really, really encourage you to look for it. So it's Ag Data Transparent. It's a certification. Now, it was developed in the US and they consulted with farm groups, ag companies, third parties, and they developed some core principles. Now, their core principles represent basic guidelines that ag tech providers should follow when collecting, using, storing, and transferring farmers' ag data. It is totally voluntary for companies to participate. However, as a company, if you participate, you must be transparent with your policies. So if you see somebody with an ADT symbol, you know that they've been vetted with this third party, and it's voluntary, but I believe it's a good way and a good indication to you as to the integrity as to what the data is going to be used for. Okay, going to move off of the data, and I'm going to go over to online grain marketing because there's lots of buzz out there, especially of recent where ag tech has really become busy. And I really want to try and just keep it simple for you to think of it in your online grain marketing world and how you can use it to maximize revenues on your farm. So, what to consider? Well, there's 3 types. When you really look across all, there's 3 types. One is line company. They've got proprietary apps. There's a listing apps, and there's marketplace action apps. Those are kind of the 3 buckets if we want to look at it very simply. Now, I'll go into each and then I'll compare them. So grain company proprietary apps, let's be honest, they're largely built by and maintained by line companies, and they're self-serving. It's a great, easy way to go paperless, communicate with your current customers, provide customers with a line of sight on the account, and with enough technology developed there, they can communicate specials directly to you within the app. Keeps it all in-house, one-to-one relationship. Questions you need to ask is, can you get your data out? Because that's your data too. Can you export contracts and sales to your accounting software? And I would say you have to check who owns the data. Now, some of the other stuff with it is there's only one app per line company. So the more line companies you deal with, or more companies with apps, the more apps you're dealing with, the more across platform you're dealing with. Okay, next are these listing apps. They're independent business run. They're a new way to an old process. It's a self-search. Much like the old classifieds world. Some of them you can build a network, you can look at an entire list, or you can get more of a connection. It can be anonymous, but it can be public. There's various models out there. And the fee structure varies to a connection fee, to a dollar per ton fee, to a variable cost for the use. What a listing app does, though, for you is it's going to take a time investment for you to search and then to connect with others. Last, the other bucket I have is marketplace action apps. They're built to model the current buying, selling process of grain from connection through contract signing. Really what they do is they allow you to step into the digital world at the speed you want. Benefits to you, you expand your network. You're available to all buyers. Offers sent to you are actionable. You can respond within an app. You can pick up the phone and call them and talk directly. Within the app, it ends in a legally binding agreement. There's no searching. You only have to review the offers that have been sent to you. As well, you have the ability to issue target prices to multiple buyers in an effective and efficient way. It really takes a minimal time investment. And we really know that at the end of the day, time is your finite quantity that you are in a battle on managing. So let's lay them all across. So you got your marketplace app, your listing app, your line company app. So seeing across the industry, the independent ones do that. A line company app doesn't. Targeted offers issued all the way through. There's some limitations on the listing app because if it was just a listed, then it's not a targeted offer. Contract management, do they have it or not? Is there a known fee structure? Well, for the line company, no, there's generally no fees other than having to do business with them. A marketplace app, yep. The listing app, it really depends on the type of listing app. Then you can look, what's good for time management. The line company app could be good if you've gone to online contracting with them and you want to manage your account in one spot with them. That can be good. With a marketplace app, yes, and a listing app, if you're spending time that can disappear on you quickly, you look one thing up and you go down a bunny trail looking up a lot of stuff. Next thing you know, you've burned 15, 20, 30 minutes or more. Are the buyers vetted? Yeah, you know what? All of them, for the most part, are vetted. There's limitations on a listing app in case you're doing farm-to-farm selling. I don't know how you would vet a farm-to-farm, but that's things to consider. Putting out targets to a marketplace. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that because over in the line company app, you could do a target directly with that line company, but it can't go to others because it's in one company app. And network building, yes, you can build networks in a marketplace or in a listing app, but not in a line company app. So a lot of different things available to you to consider when you're looking at your online grain marketing. So my final thoughts, and to wrap and put a bow around this for AgSmart and for our session, let's start with data use and protection. When people are talking about traceability, just keep it in mind. It is a long play. Watch that bait. And I call it bait because everybody's going to go solve the traceability side. It's not as easy as what it seems on the front end. Tracing, as an example, doing traceability on a box of strawberries and where it came from is much easier than tracing a 5-pound bag of flour. So just keep that in mind. That's why I say watch that bait. Data sharing, I really want you to tread cautiously. Don't just blindly click. Ask questions, then click. Protect yourself. Right now, farms produce an immense amount of data that hasn't been used. It's all linked. So what do you want to use? And keep in mind, there are various consultants out there that can help sort it out and help you make a plan. As it goes for grain marketing and going online, line companies will bring out their apps, but they are going to be largely self-serving. Listing and marketplace apps serve two totally different purposes. Embrace the technology, and your opportunities will be huge for your farm. Again, thanks for taking the time, spending it here with me this day, and thank you to AgSmart for bringing forth the sessions, and thank you to our sponsor, CXN 360.